Looks like we're starting. Looks like we're starting.
Ooh, Terry. Okay.
Terry Banjo, yeah, it's definitely going to be a matter of how successfully can GENO keep him out, because I have to imagine that this matchup is probably a little in Terry's favor. Terry's got all the tools in the world with a lot of his amazing frame data and his close CQC, his ability to force things with crack shoot. GENO's main concern is just going to be how successfully can he control center and use that as just leverage for everything else.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Akamos needs to take into account is that the chip damage isn't necessarily the end of the world. It's just rage in the tank that's getting you closer to your win condition on go. Being able to call out Banjo, who really does like to go high with Power Geyser, is a really big way to say, like, you're not allowed to go as high as you want. But right now, it's a pretty even game so far. Akamos doing a great job.
Wow, what a call out.
Yeah, really good call out in the corner. And this is one of the situations I also think could be a little bit scary, is because the rising tackle is going to poke through the stage, Banjo has a pretty easy time to exploit that.
Nice call.
Yeah. There it is, go online.
Yeah, something else that's really important is GENO's only got two. Never mind, just one left. So, yep. Resets, really good down tilt into. Burning Knuckle. I have brain farted, sorry.
It's all good, man.
I didn't sleep much last night.
Hey, I mean, that's all right. We still got good gameplay to go for. Are you okay? Oh, okay.
Nice.
That was a good idea. Just not the right execution, but.
Uh-oh.
You know, I guess I would have to ask you this one, is how do you make Terry aerials play against this matchup? You can poke relatively safely. The bear is an absolutely brutal tool, and up to the bear kind of combo is still
Nice call.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you get killed by down throw.
Yeah, the main thing that seems important that I don't feel like GENO's really doing yet is kind of just jumping at Akamos to threaten some kind of landing option, and then just using a double jump to just fade out with something else. Using your little short double jumps as a way of kind of maneuvering around and just barely tipping someone with a hitbox is a nice little way to create lots of fake outs. Fake outs that don't matter, though, if you're just going to get called out on your landing with a raw burning knuckle like that. God, I forgot it again. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, we got rising tackle, burning knuckle, crack shoot. Speaking of rising tackle, I feel like that's going to be one of the more hard options for Banjo to deal with, especially when it's hard dealing with that coiled rising tackle. But Akamos is doing a good job wrapping around the space of GENO and just barely missing that hit.
Yeah. He got a little greedy there, but it didn't matter because he got a second attempt.
Yeah, I mean, the Buster Wolf is such a brutal item to get by from Akamos, so it's a best of three until I would have guessed top 8 at this point.
Probably.
But are there any stages that you're not willing to get, or we're just gonna run it back? We're just gonna run it back.
I mean, it's the Georgia Classic for a reason.
Yeah. I tried to segue into something like maybe there's some great insight that, because I know you played Terry for a little bit, right? Or
I did actually, right at the beginning.
And I was thinking, you might have some insight, but if we run it back to DS2, there might be some adjustments still that GENO can make to possibly exploit combos.
The main thing I can think of is, aside from what I mentioned about using double jumps for repositioning and kind of just enticing certain kinds of static grounded options, the other thing you can do that would help a lot is to just use his down B eggs a little more aggressively. He's kind of just pulling them out, shoot, and then just dropping them instead of like picking them up himself and then using them to threaten other kinds of follow-ups. Because if you're just going to play this little range game that he's doing right now, it's really hard to keep up unless you just win it over and over again, which is what he's doing now. But it's hard to do that when Terry's damage output is just going to be so much stronger in almost all situations.
Yeah, it's not just that Terry does so much more damage per interaction that he does win. You have to see that conversation.
Nice.
Good up tilt call out on the side of GENO, but I think Howard might be able to open up a little bit more in this gameplay, possibly contest some of these options that Banjo has, but
what a call out! That's the kind of thing you have to do.
Okay, so exploiting Akamos' recovery, a massive lead for GENO, and it looks like he's made some pretty serious adjustments.
Yeah, he's just being a little more aggressive with his opportunities, which I feel like you have to. You got to compensate for the lower damage output in some way. Just trying to force this kind of offstage interactions, or even just getting combos off of things like down B would help a lot. And he's doing really well. Unfortunately for him, though, he misses the turnaround MD landing grab. It would have been really nice damage.
So, I don't know if I agree with forward throw right now. The idea, I think Akamos is trying to just rack up damage to get to some of those quick 30 still, but especially when you get this type of deficit, I think sometimes people tunnel vision into their combo routes instead of just saying, I need to get stage control, just take back the game.
Is it? Oh. I like the idea, but it didn't even matter because in order to dodge that Wonder Wing, Akamos just had to go to the Abyss.
Yeah,
What a game.
What an adaptation from GENO to do. Like, can't overstate that enough how much GENO has.
It's a 1-1.
Yep, it is. So, small battlefield. I kind of like this cherry. I think it makes sense. You're condensing the stage a little bit. You're essentially saying, I want to go to PS2, but just a little bit smaller.
Yeah. The smaller stages are pretty much always going to be better for whichever character wants to go in. And in something like this, where Terry's, you know, pretty obviously going to be a pretty aggressive character with all of his good CQC and his mobility, and just a really good variety of burst options. GENO doesn't really want to deal with them too much. The main thing is just how effectively GENO's going to be able to rack up damage, and whether or not he can continue his momentum from before, because things were looking really nice towards the end of that second game. And honestly, nothing seems to have slowed down for him.
Yeah, it hasn't slowed down. This pressure is so difficult. A good roll call out on the side of GENO. Still not exploiting the rising tackle just yet, but we saw the idea come out from GENO. Hang around the go.
Yep.
Not overcommit on that, but
That's it. That's another big stock. Clutching him out is so important with go on the table. Like, even that forward air, like, it's got some solid power, but it's not quite enough unless you can... Yeah, just... Akamos has been able to get a lot of these recoveries without any real challenge. Oh my god, is he going to get it again? Yep.
and it just seemed like that was a really, really painful misinput for GENO to go there and get the Wonder Wing the wrong direction. But it's like Akamos is doing a good job of just maintaining and preserving these things. Yeah, just a little too low. It still feels like there's quite a lead that Akamos is putting in front of himself over GENO.
Yeah, and the lead matters more when you also just struggle to do that much damage usually. Unless... Rare Banjo combos? What an advantage state! Just a perfect call out on the drift.
Whoa! Great tech on the side of Akamos.
Is that it?
That'll clean up another stock and go effectively neutralized for the entire second stock. Akamos has a little bit of a hill to climb now.
Yeah, GENO after taking that second stock had a big fist bump too. He's hyped. Oh, is this it? Yeah, he had an opportunity for a down tilt, but I don't think he was quite anticipating that recovery timing, so he just wasn't ready for it. This is so close to being over. The thing is that right now he's at this juicy magical percent where a lot of things start coming together. Takes just a little bit more damage, and this is a borderline even game, even if he gets hit one more time. Go on the table just really changes everything.
Yeah, I was just say go on the table, and that is a whole new threat that you have to respect. This is what you were talking about. Hold on. Almost.
Oh my god.
Makes it back.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't go for that. Oh my god. That's it. That's some damage. We might be one F tilt away.
Akamos still just trying to wait out these options and trying to respect that grab from GENO. He's gotten so much mileage off of it.
Yeah, this is his last hit.
Akamos still alive, 161. There next.
That was such a good call. Oh my god.
Whoa!
I mean, why not just let it rip? It's so good when you can get that.
Akamos has to find a way back to the ground. The dash tag doesn't connect. Down tilt. And there's the F smash, the unconventional option. Akamos pops off.
What a set. Game 1 looked so good for Akamos. GENO had a massive start in Game 2. Looked like he was going to keep that pace for Game 3, but ultimately he just struggled to take stocks when it mattered. A lot of the edge guards that really differentiated Game 2 from 1, he just wasn't able to get this time. It was just glorified extra damage, and extra damage isn't enough when goes on the table.
Yeah, it does. It wasn't even that the extra